Hello, today we're doing lesson 5.8. We're analyzing graphs of polynomial functions. This is just a little bit of a review of what we already talked about in the previous lesson, talking about zeros, factors, solutions, and x-intercepts. Zeros and solutions are basically when we set the polynomial equal to 0 and we solve for our x. X-intercepts, however, are only real numbers when we graph a polynomial function where that function crosses the x-axis. So we're going to talk a little bit about x-intercepts, which is why I put this back on the notes. We're also going to talk about the turning points of graphs. Basically, in a graph, we're going to have what we call local maximums and local minimums. So local maximums are like maximums, except it's not a maximum of the entire graph, because if we look, this graph is going to go up forever. So we call it a local maximum. This one is a local minimum, not the minimum of the entire graph, because if we notice, the graph goes down forever. So we talk about turning points of graphs. It says the y-coordinate of a turning point is a local maximum of the function if the point is higher than all nearby points. The y-coordinate of a turning point is a local minimum of the function if the point is lower than all nearby points. The graph of every polynomial function of degree n has at most n minus 1 turning points. So if I have a polynomial function of a degree 4, we're going to have at most 3 turning points. If a polynomial function has n distinct real zeros, then its graph has exactly n minus 1 turning points. But that would be, we'd have to solve and see, do we have any imaginary zeros or not. So what we're going to do in this section is basically mostly do all of this on our graphing calculator. We're going to start by putting this in our graphing calculator, and I'm going to show you how to find the x-intercepts, the y-intercepts, the local min, and the local max. So everybody, go ahead and put this in your calculator. It is really important that you're following along with me and actually trying this on our calculator. Okay? Tomorrow when you come to class, I don't want anyone to sit there and say, I have no idea how to do this. I'm showing you how to do this right now. Okay, first thing we're going to find is our x-intercepts. Our x-intercepts are where the graph crosses the x-axis. In this case, it would be right here. So we're going to go to second, trace, and we're going to go down to 0, number 2. Okay, it asks for the left bound and right bound. So I need to go to the left of this point and to the right of this point. So we're going to go ahead and arrow over. Okay, this is good. Hit enter. Then we're going to go to the right of it. This is good. Hit enter again. If you notice, I'd like you to round to the nearest tenth. This graph crosses the x-axis at negative 1.2, 0. That's it. That's my x-intercept. Now we're going to go ahead and find the y-intercept. Now the y-intercept, what I usually do honestly is I don't do these on the calculator, because the y-intercept is going to be where my graph crosses the y-axis. It's going to cross the y-axis where x is 0. So if I put 0 in for my x's, I'm left with 6. So my y-intercept is going to be 0, 6. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to my graph, and we are going to find what we call the local minimum and the local maximum. Local minimum happens to be on my list first, so I'm going to find this point. We're going to go to second, trace, down to number 3, minimum. We're going to go to the left of that point. Now I like to get a little bit closer so it doesn't accidentally find my maximum. So this is good. Hit enter. Then I'm going to go to the right of that point. This is good. Hit enter again. So my local minimum is 1.999992. It's awfully close to 2. So 2, 2. Now we're going to go ahead and find our local maximum. So this time I'm going to go to second trace. I'm going to go down to maximum. We're going to go to the left of my maximum. Here's my maximum. Left, right. So we're going to scroll over. This is good. Hit enter. Scroll over. This is good. Hit enter. Enter again. Okay, that's it. Now look at this number. This is what I was talking about that one time in class. 1.9 times 10 to the negative 6 is this number. 0.000019 and so on. That's awfully close to 0. So you can go ahead and write 0, 6. So when I look at the answers, our x-intercept would be negative 1.20. Our y-intercept would be 0.6. Our local minimum would be 2.2. Our local max would be 0.6. Okay, we're going to go ahead and try the next problem. So I want you to go ahead and put this polynomial into your graphing calculator. Okay, welcome back. We have a very interesting graph here. If you need to see more of it, we can go ahead and change the window, maybe go down to our y-min, change to negative 20. See if this works. help you see a little bit more of the graph. There we go. Pretty good. Okay, it's pretty obvious that we're going to have a local minimum down there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and just start finding our information. So we're going to go to second trace. We're going to do x-intercepts first. So when I do that, I'm going to go to 0, number 2. I'm going to find this one first. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the left of that point. Look where my cursor is. Oops, it disappeared. I'd like to see my cursor so I know I'm to the left of that point. Then I'm going to go to the right of it. That's good. Hit enter again. So I get negative 0.7. If you want to round that to negative 0.8, you can, comma 0. Now we're going to go ahead and find this x-intercept. So we're going to go to second trace, number 2 again. This time I'm going to get a little bit closer. It's coming back up. I can see. There we go. Hit enter. Then we're going to go to the right of that point. Uh-oh, jumped way up there. I was like, where's my cursor? Okay, let's go one jump. I can see it's at 12.7, so that's good. Hit enter again. Look, I get 4.5, comma 0. This number is awfully close to 0. Okay, y-intercept, I would look back at the equation and I'll plug 0 in. I put 0 in, excuse me, put 0 here. Sorry, I don't know why this keeps happening. 0's here. I get negative 3. So my y-intercept is at 0, negative 3. Let's go ahead and go back to the graphing calculator. Now I have 2 local minimums. I have this one and then one way down here. So I'm going to go second trace. I'm going to go down to minimum. And I'm going to go to the, let's find this one first. Go to the left of that point. So we're going to go ahead and move our cursor. Almost. All right, that's good. Hit enter. Now be very careful when you go to the right of it. You don't want to get to that maximum. So that's good. Hit enter. There we go. Negative 0.2, comma, negative 3.1. Let's do it again and find our other local minimum. Go ahead to number 3. We're going to go to the left of that point. That's good. Enter. Then we're going to go to the right of it. There we go. Hit enter. And we get, oops, I didn't guess. 4 point, is this right? Minimum, what did it say? 4.4. And no, I don't think that's right. Hold on, let's do it again. Second trace, go down to 3. Let's do this again. Let's go to the left of that point. There we go. Hit enter. That's to the left. Go to the right of it. There we go. Let's go a little bit down. Hit enter again. There we go. 3.4 and negative 39.4. I don't know why that happened there. Now last one, let's go ahead and find our local maximum, which is 4. Now our local maximum is very hard to see. It's right here. So I need to go to the left of that and to the right of it. So to the left of it, be careful. You don't want to get to that minimum. That looks good. Hit enter. And then we're going to go over, hit enter again. And then we get negative 0.5 and negative 2.5. Okay, go ahead and do the you-try on your own. Make sure you can do all 4 of these things. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or are having any calculator issues, go ahead, write it at the bottom of your paper, and I'll see you tomorrow in class.